Tēnā koe beautiful soul, and welcome to the Minor Arcana from Aces all the way up to 10 for the cup suit. Now the cup suit equates to the water element, and I think the water element, using it as an analogy for our emotions and our intuitions, we will probably be able to understand the cards just a little bit better. If our emotions and our intuition were water, when we repress our emotions and intuition, they never stay down for long. They will always overflow. Water is soft and it is hard. It is predictable and very unpredictable at times. It replenishes and takes away. A lot of the time when we are in conflict with our emotions, we always find it hard to harness water or harness our emotions. And sometimes I believe the lesson behind the water element or the cup suit is to teach us how to surrender sometimes. Surrender to the ebb and the flow, and perhaps water will show us the way. So aces of course are always our beginnings. Now for me, the aces is about the potential of. It is the first spark, it is the first idea, it is that very first emotion. When I think of all the aces in tarot, I think about an individual. We must always start with self. And this cup that you see here overflowing is a reminder to us that we have the potential to love. We have the potential to give love, to receive love, to even understand love. So of course when we see the aces, we see them as new beginnings or the potential of. The number 2, so the 2 of cups. For me, numerology comes first sometimes in tarot, and the number 2 always represents duality. For me, you are going from the single individual and you are turning that into co-creation. You are turning that into, or adding one more person into a certain connection. As you see in the cards, these two aren't exactly pouring the water into each other's cups. They are just offering it at this time. This is recognition that they are feeling a connection. They are feeling an emotional connection, maybe a psychic connection. There is some mutuality here. There is potential for co-creation. Right, the number 3 is for me, we are going from the individual to the duality to the collaboration. With the 3 of cups. Now the 3 of cups is a little bit more complicated from the 2 of cups, because all you have to consider is just those 2 energies. And when we get into the 3 of cups, we are introducing new energies, new perceptions, new ideas at that time. But because we are talking about the cups card, we are talking about a love connection, we're talking about an emotional connection, we are talking about some type of commonality between these people, which is why the 3 of cups is about union and reunion. It is that type of union and reunion when you see the person, you're very happy to see them. It is also the card for celebration, where one people are getting together to say, hey, we love you, hey, we are celebrating you. So yes, the 3 of cups is quite a joyous card. The number 4 is always about security, stability for me. Every time I see the number 4, I think about the 4 legs on a table. So with this card, as you can see, this beautiful soul is just too concentrated on the 3 cups. There's just too much in this type of energy. So when a 4th cup is offered, they're like, I don't know. I'm not too sure about that. But the number 4, once again, is about learning how to find security and stability in a situation. And it emphasizes sometimes in order to find that security, stability, we have to look outside ourselves. We have to consider everything. Should we just concentrate on the one and only, we may just be missing an opportunity. The number 4 of cups is also a reminder to us that things come in time. As you can see, this person's got their defense mode on with their arms crossed and their legs crossed and all of that, waiting for things to fall into balance. This is a reminder from Spirit to say we are the architects of our life. If it ain't fitting, get up and do something about it. Now we get to the number 5. Okay, so 5s for me are about change, 100%, the need for change. And let's just be honest, the 5 of Cups through to the 5 of Swords, they're not always the most positive cards in tarot, but I love the number 5. If we put this in context of somebody coming in and giving us an assessment, or coming in and giving us critiques about our life, they would be saying through the number 5, I love this, this, and this, but hey, consider this. And that one, consider this, would probably be the number 5. In terms of the 5 of Cups, this person hasn't exactly lost everything. The change that is necessary for this person is more so about perception or perspective rather than action. As you can see, there are 3 spilt cups in the front there, and yet there are 2 full ones at the back. Right in the rear there, you see a bridge, which to me always just kind of represents get over yourself. But that's just my interpretation of it. It reminds us that we should always stay in a state of gratitude, that not all is lost. If we focus too much on the things that we don't have, we lose focus of the things that we do. So let's get to the number 6. So the number 6 is about harmony. Okay, bringing everything back into harmony again. It's not just somebody's coming back from your past. Please don't get too caught up on 5,000 tarot readers giving the same meaning to the same card over and over again. Push deeper. Find out more, okay? It's not just face value when it comes to tarot. So remember, we are talking about the water element here, and it's all about keeping things in harmony, understanding the ebb and flow of our emotions, our intuition, and yes, of water. So when you are thinking about bringing your 6 of Cups into harmony, this is somebody who is reflecting on their past, whether that is an experience, whether that is a person, and they want to bring that experience from their past back into the future, or back into their present. And that is what the meaning of that card is. It's also seen as a gift from the gods. It's also seen as an opportunity for you to reconcile old business, bring it back into the new, revitalize it into a new light. And that is the 6 of Cups. Now let's go to the 7s. Okay, so 7s are about perfecting something. Okay, the 7s are about, I know what my idea is. I know what I want to do with it. I faced my shadows with it. Now let's take a closer look at it. Let's kind of, critique it, and let's perfect it. Okay, so with the 7 of Cups, of course, this is all about the decisions. Okay, what is real, what is not, what is important to you, and what is not important to you. Always remember that the right answer is a matter of perspective. What you deem is right to yourself is definitely not going to resonate for everybody. Hence the 7 of Cups. So here we go with the good old 8 of Cups, walking away. This is yet another type of card where people get caught up and just thinking it's a walking away card. But if we think about it, the 7 is about perfecting our vision. The 8 is about getting rid of those things that just isn't going to work for us, that just isn't going to serve us. And one way that we can kind of identify it is if we cannot learn any more from it, if we cannot love it anymore, if it's not going to give to me anymore, it's time for us to kind of move on, because all 8 cups are full now. There's no more work for me to do here. Hence, when you walk away from the 8 of Cups, you walk straight into the 9 of Cups. And the number 9 is completion, or very, very close to completion. And this is somebody who has ticked all their boxes. This is somebody who is very happy in the work that they've done. This is somebody who is looking at their manifestation or their life, and they are feeling very fulfilled. And of course, when you do feel very fulfilled, when your cup overflows, what are you going to do? Send it out to the world. All right, let's get to the number 10s. And yes, the number 10s, of course, will always represent completion. And completion always equates to acceptance. When you know a thing, and then you learn something about it. Then you get over the hurdles, you perfect it, and then when you get there, that is the 10 of Cups. And to apply it to a water element, this is about all the things that you love. It doesn't necessarily just mean family. It doesn't just necessarily mean just your circle. This can be, I don't know, happiness of self, happiness of completion. The 10 of Cups is a celebration of achievement, no matter what that looks like. So just a quick little tip here that could help you use all these cards, and you can use this in all 4 suits. The Ace is about the individual. It is about a beginning. It is about self. It's singular. The 2 is about duality. It is about connection. It is about 2 people. And 3 is about collaboration. It's when you start adding people to that duality. Once you have those 3, you then start to critique. You start taking a look at the things that you want to change within it. With the 4, 5, and 6, this is when we start reflecting on self. We start addressing our doubts. We start addressing our obstacles. We start addressing those things that are standing in our way in order to bring our manifestation into reality. So we contemplate security, stability. We pay attention to the things we need to change. And then we try and find some type of harmony. And finally, after that, because we know what our idea is, because we know what we want to manifest into reality, we start making the good and bad choices. We then start getting rid of things that we don't really need until we check everything off on the list, and we start feeling accomplished to our destination, the 10 of Cups. So for the suit cards, you'll notice there are no numbers on the suit cards, but they are just as important. The suit cards are really drawn more so on archetypes. You can Google that if you really want to find out the meaning of it. It's a psychological term, but for the purposes of this introduction, when I see the pages, knights, queens, and kings, I see them as personalities. I see them as people. I see them in terms of the personalities they may have, good and bad, the emotions they may be feeling, the job that they may do. So when I see the pages, I see rangatahi, I see a young person, I see a student, I see a messenger. Somebody's right at the beginning of their journey. When I see the knight, well, they're a little bit past the learning stage and they're starting to implement that learning. So the knights in tarot are our workers. And then, of course, the Queen and King of Cups here, both of these are mastery cards. They sit alongside one another. These are 2 people who have learned all the lessons. They have put some experience under their belts, and they are now mastering their craft or using the knowledge they have in order to move through life. So the Page of Cups, as I said before, I see the pages as perhaps somebody who's really young, somebody who hasn't had as much experience, or it's also somebody who hasn't got that much information about something. When you see the Page of Cups, it's not just about somebody who's kind of crushing on you. This is somebody who doesn't quite know you yet and probably needs more information about you, but they are right at the beginning, so they have seen something that they desire and they want to know more. Page of Cups. The Knight of Cups. This is somebody who's been very studious. He has paid attention. He has studied the thing that he really, really wants to be part of. Therefore, with this information, he can step forward and kind of take action. Then we have the Queen of Cups. And yes, this is more so the divine feminine side of this suit. So as we know, the Queen of Cups is somebody who can be intuitive, somebody who is very open in terms of emotions, very understanding in terms of emotions, somebody who is ride or die, someone who loves love. And of course, the King of Cups, which is pretty much the same as the Queen. Sometimes the King of Cups is seen as somebody who is on a spiritual awakening. And of course, spirit is connected to the water element more than any other. This is somebody who has made mistakes. As you can see, he has 1 foot in the water and 1 on land. You'll see that a lot in tarot. This is somebody who is open. Someone who is a confident, somebody who can empathize and make sense of emotions, make sense of intuition. So one quick tip that I have in terms of learning all the suits throughout the whole tarot deck is I liken them to personalities in my life. The pages were cousins or nieces or nephews. The knights, well, the knights were like old boyfriends from school. The Knight of Cups, of course, was that, you know, very tortured artist who just loved love and was always in his feelings, Mr. Romantic. He just loved the romance. That was the Knight of Cups for me. The Queen of Cups were aunties, okay? Very educated type of aunties, and we all have that one auntie, or even best friends. I found an archetype or a personality in my world, and because I knew their personality, their flaws and all of that, I just attuned them to the Queen of Cups because that's who they reminded me of, as well as the King of Cups. The King of Cups, of course, were like uncles or father figures or male counterparts, and I liken them to that. It was a very quick way for me to remember their personality types when they came up in readings.